Hello, everyone. This is Sheree Divine, and this is my baby sister. She's about 8 years younger than me.
Hello.
Uh, Pooh. She recently went on her very first international trip. Finally got her out. She finally got out of the group chat. Super proud. So happy. Now, if I can only get some more people out of the group chat instead of saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna go."
And don't go.
Yeah. But this is my sister. She made it out of the group chat, and her very first um time out of the country, international,
Yeah,
was to we went to Indonesia, Bali, and ended up spending about 2.5 weeks there. Me personally, I didn't want to come back. I think she did a little bit, but maybe not as much as
little.
I did want to come back. But I've asked her because I know that this particular trip was pretty um what's the word? It was impactful, pretty impactful for her in a number of different ways, being that it was her first time out of the country. So I just have some questions that I'm going to ask her, and Pooh, make sure you give your honest, uncensored.
Unset.
Don't even think of uncensored. That's fine. Uncensored. This is for adults.
Okay.
Un- uncensored answers to these questions, if you don't mind, so that my divine can actually know how important it is to experience new things. So we're gonna go ahead on and hop on in. I'm gonna try not to, you know, be too long. First question is what inspired you to take your first international trip?
I always really wanted to travel and seeing you always going somewhere. At that time, when I was younger, I really didn't have the money, or I was like, well, how is she always traveling? And she said she ain't go. I was like, I gotta go. Every time I say I'm going, I'm going. So,
So that was one of her mottos. There, if I tell her I'm going, if I tell her I'm going somewhere, she's now saying I'm gonna go. So we're gonna play on a little bit on what you said was about not having the money. There are a lot of misconceptions about people who travel. So I try to get out of the country. I try to travel somewhere at least twice a year, preferably out of the country, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. Planning. Planning is a very integral part to being able to travel, period. Um, you have to cut some things out. I like Starbucks. And we know, yeah, last year, I'm going to tell you this. Last year, I spent a stupid amount of money on Starbucks. When I say stupid, I mean stupid. Okay. So you have to cut some things out that are really not necessary to be able to do what you want to do. There's a quote or a cliche that's out there that says you have to live like other people won't so that you can live like other people won't. So
mhm.
there's that. All right. So number two, your next question is, what were your initial thoughts and feelings when you were preparing to depart from for your first trip?
Well, my thoughts at that time, I was like, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going. But it started getting closer and closer. I went on ahead and got my insurance, and I was like, what can I say in order to get my money back? Because I was kind of scared. I was scared. Um, Being that I had bills and children, I was like, I don't know if I want to go. Then I started thinking about like our flight to Hong Kong was 15 hours. That was the real thing that really made me scared. Oh my God, 15 hours. I can't do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. That was that was my feelings before I was packing. And I went back like 3 or 4 times to make sure I had everything in my bag. Cause Asia, if if you don't got it, you don't got it. Cause she said pack this, and if you didn't pack it, then oh well, that's your fault.
Blame that on my dad. Blame that on my dad. But yeah, so when not many people have actually traveled with me, but I try to make it as streamlined as possible because I know even for me, traveling is stressful. And then I have someone who's never really traveled a lot or especially out of the country. I know that adds even more stress onto me. So I try to make sure that you have everything. And of course, me being big sis. I'm gonna have some extra stuff. But as far as like printouts and things, that will be your responsibility. That's always gonna be your responsibility. But I at one point I was hounding her so much that she called me mom because I wanted to make sure that she had everything, especially as far as like the documents and things like that. And I know that some countries, they will turn you away. So if you spent $2,000, $3,000 on a flight and you can't even get into the country, you've wasted that money. You're not going to get it back from insurance because that's I'm going to assume that is not something that you can claim on your insurance because the insurance company is going to say, "Well, you should have had it together. You knew this isn't a weather or you're not sick or you didn't have an accident, so you're out two three however many hundreds of dollars for your flight."
Right.
So that was that was one of the things that I really really hounded her on. Make sure you got your documents. Make sure. And so our mom, so I'm 40 plus. So I'm gonna say 40 plus, and I still, at my great right age of 40 plus, have to print out my stuff for my mom. So, but that is still a good thing to do, even if I was 60 and my mom was alive or however old, or if I'm 60 and I have children, give it to, make sure that you give that information to someone because we never know when something can happen.
Mhm.
We're not, we're not the higher being, so we never know when or if something can happen. And if something does happen, we need to be able to contact those people, or those people need to be able to contact whoever they need to contact.
Right.
Okay. So, moving on. How did you feel when you first stepped foot in your international destination, which was Bali, Indonesia?
First, first it was the airport, cause what they not like us.
Quote number two. They not they not like us. Okay. Elaborate on that a little bit so people know a little bit what you're talking about.
So okay, it was a lot of people running their flights. Um, to like the TSA pre check like our flights. We were kind of like trying to get to our flight, but TSA pre check was awesome. We went right there. Um, was it getting into the country? I think
Mm-hmm.
customs. No, not customs. It was getting into the country.
For the visa.
Visa. We already had our visa. People were in line. Oh my gosh! And I had to take a picture because they're not like us. Quote.
So what she's talking about in for Indonesia, Indonesia has they offer a online visa on arrival. So you can either get your visa when you get there, or you can get it before you get there. So this was one of part of the documents that I was hounding her about, and I know that visa is one of the most difficult things to get because they are real strict on what they need as far as like whatever information that they need for the visa, and you have to make sure that you pick the correct visa because if you don't pick the correct visa you can get fined, you can get jail, and or you can get denied into the country yet again. We don't want to lose any money, so that was one of the things that I really hounded her about. So the line for the visa, to get visa on arrival if you didn't already have your visa, was horrendous. And after a 15-hour flight, actually, we traveled probably about 21, 22 hours because we had to travel um, from our state to another state in order to get onto the long flight. So we had traveled after a 15-hour flight. We spent overnight in Hong Kong, and then we had to get up to go to Indonesia. That's a lot of travel. Don't nobody want to be standing in line at that point. At that point, I'm ready to get to where I'm gonna go, so I can get out of my clothes, get comfortable, and yes, and relax. So, um, we had already had our visas ready, so we didn't even have to stand in that line. We were pretty much expedited
Hmm.
to another area. Of course, you had to go through customs, but that line, we probably stood in that line maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because all they had to do was scan something. So, but if we would have not done our visa on arrival, we would have been at the airport at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half longer, because that line was pretty long. That line was long. And of course, you have to have all your documents in order to get that visa. So,
And I was with the visa. Well, first the TSA. Um, I applied for it first. She ended up getting hers way before I did. So I'm asking her questions like, "What if I don't get it?" She said, I'll see you at the gate." So oh my God! So she not gonna walk with me. I'm upset. Yes, I was. Then with the visa, I asked. I said, "So what if I'm not able to get in on the visa?" She said, "You ain't gonna be able to get in the country." I'm like, "So I'm gonna be to spend all my money and still not be able to." I was upset. I was. I was.
and like I say, once again, blame it on my daddy. Because if she had not gotten her TSA pre-check, I tell you, I told her, I'll meet you at the gate. You go stand in that line. I'll meet you at the gate, baby. But as far as the visa, when we did the visa, I think I did calm her nerves a little bit because I told her that you're gonna get it immediately. As long as you put your things in there that you have, you'll get it. And if you have a passport, I can confidently say that if you have a passport and you apply for a visa, you'll be able to get your visa. Okay, let's see where we at. Okay, what were some of the cultural differences you noticed right away when you arrived?
When I arrived, they don't hurry. They're not fast paced. It's like you're on their time. You're on their time. They don't seem to get mad about anything. Like you can have them running, 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 and they're gonna still smile at you. That's not possible for me. But and also I don't know what they're called, but they really do a lot of spiritual things. And I did ask one of the drivers, like, "Do y'all have any crime over here?" And he looked at me like I was like he didn't know what I was talking about. So I was just like, "Well, just let me hush," because he didn't know what I'm talking about at all. So I don't think they have any crime over there. I really didn't even see police. I saw police, but as far as like crime going on, I didn't see any of that, and that made the trip a lot good, a lot better as well.
Okay, it's okay. Let me speak on that too. So, I don't think that it is the fact that they don't have crime. I believe that anywhere you go, there's going to be some kind of crime, and I think that the areas that we saw the police officers, I only saw like one or two places that we saw the officers were the touristy spots,
Mm-hmm.
the places where foreigners come. So they probably don't really know anything about it. I'm sure they might have like some petty thefts and things like that, and they might, but every we were there. Miss Ma'am had me going out at night in the alleys. But even when I have traveled, I've gone to other places and I felt comfortable. I think that the important part for that is you have to be vigilant of your surroundings, just like if you were at home. Now we live in America, and that's all I'm gonna say. I feel the places that I have been, I have felt more safe than I have in America at night. And I live in a pretty good neighborhood. I live in a good neighborhood, so I don't venture out anymore. I'm too old for that shit. I don't venture out anymore. But I feel like even when I go out, I don't have to look over my shoulders or be watching the exit and making sure and watching everyone's movement and
Hmm.
things like that in the places that I have gone and visited. I've never felt that way. Not saying that I am not vigilant and I'm not cautious. I've never felt that I had to do that. Okay, let's see. What were some of the activities, sites, or attractions that you enjoyed the most during the trip?
Well, I liked it. I liked it, all of it, really. But the most, woo, oh wow. Um, so the mountain ride, I I liked it, but it was just cold, cold as hell. Oh gosh, I was wrapped up in my blanket, like I was cold. I was cold. I was kind of mad, like why did she do this attraction? I was cold, and we had to get up at 3. Well, we left at 3:30 in the morning. Mind you, it's 3:30 in the afternoon over here in the U.S. and 3:30 a.m. over there. Oh my gosh, but I liked it. It was okay. I was ready to go though. Um, I really love the swing because I bought my dress.
Oh, you had to toss that in there, huh?
Yeah, I bought my dress. I love that one. Um, um, what else did we do? Oh, and the what is it, the bath? The last one that we had, we did the milk
Oh,
bath.
don't elaborate on
Oh,
that too
okay,
much. But
okay,
I'm because
that,
I'm gonna ask you a question at the end.
oh Lord, that one.
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on. Did you encounter or experience any challenges or difficulties during this trip?
Any challenges?
Or difficulties?
Um, I had to learn how to shut the hell up because all of the, how do I want to say it? People. Did you see what I did?
What?
People.
Oh, okay, yeah. We know them.
I had to, like, every time they looked, I actually looked at them, but I kind of like I didn't want to be like too ghetto with it as well. I had to like humble myself, if that's what I should say. Because Asia always say, "You get in trouble, I'm going back. I'm calling your next of kin." So I had to like just look at them, just like they looked at me.
So yes, that is a rule of mine. If you do some stupid shit wherever you at, you will be there. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my trip. I will contact your next of kin, however,
And she's so
as
serious.
a
She kept
courtesy.
saying,
As a courtesy. But I I let her know that the more and more you travel, the more looks like that you're gonna get from people, um, because they feel like we can't travel, we can't experience the same things that they experience. We don't have the money that they have. Especially, I really know. I tend to not even pay attention to that, but I really noticed it in our last place, um, because it was a more upscale, and plus, I guess because we were around more people, we weren't like most of our places. We were in a villa,
"Yeah."
so we were kind of secluded. But the last place, it was more of a resort like feel, so you felt that. And I've noticed that in a lot of places that I have gone. My most recent one prior to this one was Africa. I even noticed that in Africa, there were some Asians who felt entitled in Africa, that like we were not supposed to be there, and we're the original people, so we're supposed to be wherever we want to be. So I explained to her that you're going to find that the more you travel, you're going to find that within the U.S., outside of the US, you're going to experience that. You're going to have those people look at you like, what the hell you doing here? I'm doing the same damn thing you doing here, spending my money.
And
And how you doing? You know, so um I and unfortunately I actually experienced that in when I went to Hawaii. When I went to Hawaii, I had my niece and my daughter, and we rented a car. And my daughter noticed it, I think, and she says, "Mom, why they keep looking at us?" I said, "Because we dark, and they think we ain't supposed to be here." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "It's black people in here, but they're not as black as us." So she says, "That's crazy." I said, "Well, the same thing I told Pooh. The more you travel, the more you're going to experience that. And you just hold your head up high. Yes, bitch, I got the money. So, hey, I can spend my money like you spend yours." But, so yeah, that was, like I said, I didn't notice it until the end. Let's see. How did you go about budgeting and managing your finances during this trip?
well, when she had already, I forgot exactly when she said she was going to Bali. So it was supposed to be me, her, my niece, and her friend. Um, so she gave us a deadline to get our passport. So I was on it. I got it back in 3 weeks. So I already had kind of had some money saved up from my taxes. So I said, okay, I'm gonna keep that money and use that, for my trip or whatever I need for the trip. But I also was working overtime. Working overtime. Really wasn't going out as much like I normally would. Um, just trying to just basically budgeting a whole lot because I wanted to go. After I had did that first ticket, it was like, okay, it's time to buckle down. You paid for this ticket. I'm gonna go. I said I'm gonna go. So I relied on not going out to eat and
Yeah,
a lot of those.
yeah. Going out to eat, it really adds up. But this plays back on the first question of no, the second question is what were your initial thoughts when you were preparing for the trip? It kind of plays on that you when I said that you have to put it in your mind
Mhm.
and exclude some things that are not necessary as far as budgeting. And anytime that I tell someone that I'm going to X, Y, or Z, here is a solo tip because I have traveled solo. Whenever I tell someone that I am going to XYZ, I'm going to go, whether they go or not.
Mhm.
But my trick is I'm not going to put my budget on them. Just on the strength that if they back out, like she said, we had a total of 4 people that were supposed to be going. Um, she, myself, my daughter, and her friend. So of course that would have split our bills into as far as like our places that we're going to stay. But if none of them would have went, I would have still stayed in the places that that we booked because I know that it was part of my budget. So that's a solo tip there. But yeah, cutting things out is definitely integral in going anywhere and budgeting anything. Excuse me. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay. What was the most rewarding and fulfilling part of this trip?
I can
That
say
was
that part now. Well,
that's
no, I'm not gonna say that part. The most rewarding part was me being able to actually go out the country and to know that no,
oh Lord, here she go.
know that my children were okay. Like a lot of people fuck them kids, yeah, but they were okay. They were. They didn't call me. I was calling them. They were in school. The next door neighbor even told me she didn't even know I was gone. Yeah. So that was the most rewarding part, that I was able to save up to go somewhere that I needed to go. I need a vacation, basically.
So I want you guys to remember that statement, because when we go to the end, it'll come out. She said she needed that. She needed this getaway. Um, and to speak on, so my niece and nephew, they're older, and I've always been telling people, come on, let's go. They're old enough, they can take care of themselves. But one is a senior and one's a junior.
Mm-hmm.
Senior and junior. Finally got her to come out. So, when Fats was in, I probably like a junior, or hell, he might have been younger than that. I was telling you to come on, let's go. He old enough to take care of himself. So, at some point, and I attribute this to my husband, even though he's working my damn nerves right now. Attribute this to my husband when he decided to take my children on as his own. He said to me one day, because I'm so protective, or I was so protective over my children. It is not even funny. So very protective over my kids. And he told me one day, he said, you've got to let them do what they need to do. You've raised them the way they need to be raised, so you have got to let them experience the world. I was mad at him. We weren't husband and wife at the time. I was mad at him for even thinking that. I was like, dude, these my kids. What are you talking about? No, these my kids. I'm not finna do that. They not finna do this. Not. He said, you have got to let them, you've got to cut the cord at some point. So I started cutting the cord slowly but surely. And yeah, Pooh, you got to cut the cord. So I mean, I think she's starting to cut it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's hard, especially when you are a single mom or a single parent, and you've done everything for your children, and you don't want anything bad to happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
I wholeheartedly agree, and I know where she's coming from. But at some point, that's when we put ourselves on the back burner, and that can be detrimental for them and for yourself. And I've learned that.
I'm learning. I'm learning.
Let's see. What did your first international trip compare to your previous travel experiences within the US? How did your first international trip compare to previous travel experiences?
The hours on the flight. I had to actually take Benadryl just to go to sleep. For the 15-hour flight, I took 2 Benadryls so I could just sleep. Um,
Oh, the wine didn't help?
no, the wine didn't. I just want Uzi. That's all. Um, and the chairs as well. Oh Lord, whew. That's why I need to lose some weight, because those chairs. Oh my God.
Or we can upgrade.
That
I
yeah.
mean, yes, we need to lose the weight too, but yeah. Next big flight, we're gonna be up front, way, way, way up front, not just like the middle front. We're gonna be way, way, way.
Right, 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 right. That part. Um, but it was an experience. I was able to, like, being on a short flight. You normally get like the Biscoff cookies and the peanuts. Well, we got a meal. One was okay. The other meal, it was. I mean, but I really couldn't eat too much of the food because every time I eat, I go shit. So I had to be cautious. I had to be cautious with.
Okay, okay. All right, so how did your first international trip change or shape your perspective of the world?
Um, that is more out here to see than just being at home or just
Hmm.
going to Virginia, or it it really showed me it's more out here. than just home.
Mm-hmm. Instead of your comfort level, it gets outside of your comfort level. Yeah, definitely. um Back in 2012, when I planned my first trip, which was supposed to have been a girls trip, to Jamaica. And
Hmm.
so I planned so
I-
far, and if I planned so no, you were too young to go.
oh, okay, okay.
In 2012. So
Oh,
I planned so far in advance that I told them, I said, this is when the deposit is due, this is about how much it's going to be, XYZ. And as time came along, I would continue to remind them. Of course, people were dropping off, girls were dropping off. And close to, I say, like a week or two before the first deposit was due, I let everybody know that it was still going. Deposit is due on XYZ date. I'm dropping my deposit. Sheree Devine dropped her deposit. And of course, I was still contacting the people. The person that I was that helped plan the trip, she said they have until this date to have everything paid. But of course, me at the time being a single mom, working, doing everything that I needed to do, I needed to pay my trip over a period of time. So I couldn't just drop. I think it was like about $3,000. I couldn't just drop that at one point, at one time. So I needed to pay on it. So the girls that were going at this time, I kept telling them, well, go ahead and make a payment if you can, you know. Come time to like the last week or so before it was supposed to that you needed to pay everything. I think it was like 45 days before travel or something, like 60 or 45 days before travel. They needed to have it paid off. I said, okay, you guys this is the absolute last day that it needs to be paid. I think I still had like two girls that were going to go at this point. Okay, we're gonna pay. By this point, I had already paid mine, so I was easy. I was gonna, I was gonna be there. So, and at this point, after they said, okay, I'm gonna pay, I was like, you know what? If you go, you go. If you don't, I'm gonna be on that flight. I went on that trip, and ladies and gentlemen, that was the absolute best, even to this day, best trip of my life. I had an absolute effing ball, from what I can remember. I had an absolute fucking ball. It was so fun. So I've been telling Pooh, don't wait on nobody. Don't wait on me. Don't wait on me. Don't wait on no man. Don't wait. Don't wait to see for your children to get out of the house. Go. So
hmm.
yeah, and I'm definitely living by that rule.
Yeah, she.
Okay, let's see. Okay, what advice would you give someone who is planning their first international trip?
Go. Just go. Just go. Don't say, should I maybe go.
Uh
Just
huh. Even if it has to be closer to home.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I know, anytime I tell someone, yeah, my sister, she just did her first international trip out of the country and she went to Indonesia to Bali with me. And they say, whoa, she really did the jump. So, yeah. So, so yeah, that I agree with that 100%. Just go. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna save that one. Did you experience any culture shock or adjustment period during this first trip?
Mm, I had to adjust to the air. Some of the air wasn't working. Like I wanted it to work. It was hot. When I say hot, hot.
And this is coming from someone who likes it hot in their house.
Yes.
Now, your girl here is in that great perimenopausal state, and Perry don't play. So, uh, yeah, my sister got a little bit more intimately than
Yes.
we probably should have. But I blame it on Perry. Blame it on Perry. So, let's see. So the coach. So just the air. I think that might have been just the facility wise though, because some places, well, it could have been them because they're used to it. So. Yeah, yeah. How was your first international travel experience? Oh, well, we've done that already. How has your first trip experienced your future plans and preferences? No, we didn't do that
No, we didn't. Um, I did tell her I'm trying to go on 2 trips a year now,
one.
national and international.
Hey. Okay, okay. So, just getting out. And like I said, the first step is to jump over that comfort zone. She was comfortable with being at home with her babies,
Mm-hmm.
worried that they were not going to be okay for whatever reason. I mean, single mom to single mom. And single parent, I'll say single parent because there are some single dads that are actually doing the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not many, but there are some. Um So yeah, just being worried on that aspect. Let's see. Looking back, what was one thing you were most grateful for and proud of from your first trip?
So I can.
Is that it?
What was the question?
Looking back, what is one thing you're most grateful for and proud of from your first trip?
No, it wasn't. I'm grateful that I was able to actually get away. Um, Now we didn't stay in just one spot, so it was like we went to, I want to say, 5 or 6 different areas. So being in one spot, I would have been wanting to come home like on the
Hmm.
third or fourth day,
Hmm.
but no, it was like every third day we was going to another area. So it was like
So we were traveling inside of travel.
right, basically. So I really liked it. The the last area was when I kind of like broke down. Like, okay, it's time to see my babies. I'm ready to go home.
So we're gonna segue into that there. During the last part or the last few days, we experienced a spa day.
Mm,
I've had spa days before. I'm a um massage therapist, so I knew that this could happen, but I I don't know why I didn't kind of warn her.
mm,
So sometimes when you experience like massage and things like that, body work, you can have an emotional outlet. It can have an emotional outlet. So I want you to elaborate on that experience and how it has shaped you from when you came back home. What are you planning on doing?
mm.
Um, so that you don't feel that way again. And yeah,
So before we went, we ate breakfast, and once again, I was shitting.
she has no problem with that. No problem.
So what? I think it's 2 hours.
Hmm.
2 hours.
Like 2.5 hours.
So I had bubble guts. I'm like, oh baby, oh Asia, I think I still got shit. She was like, oh well, you can go use the bathroom, but that's gonna be your 2.5 hours. I'm like, oh man, okay. As soon as I got on the table, my stomach was fine.
What
It was
about before? Wait a minute, hold on. What before you got on the table? Because you got to give them the entire
oh,
experience. We did.
okay,
We didn't just start at the table.
okay. So before we got on the table, before my stomach was still, they gave us apricot, some
Yeah,
tea.
almonds and some tea. Hmm.
Yeah, that's their thing. Tea, vegetables, and fruit with everything. We was eating. We were eating there every time. If you
Eating
go to college,
good,
eating, eating,
good.
right. And I felt like I lost weight as well when I got back home. So we had the tea. My stomach was still messed up. I said, I ain't eating that apricot. I'm not eating it because my stomach was already messing up. We got to choose our, what is it? The bead? No, the.
we were able to choose foot soak. We had a foot soak, a massage. We had a foot soak, a body scrub, a facial massage, and then the milk bath. And we were able to choose oils or salts to go in whatever one.
Yeah,
So,
different scents and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
So they even asked us, do we want it to be soft or hard? I chose the hard, but when I got in there, it was a little bit too hard. So I said, got to soften up a little bit. Um, we waited, kind of waited like maybe 5 minutes. I wanted to be in there with my sister, but she was listen.
So
Good.
I want to enjoy my time.
Oh, and she did tell me they're gonna give you like these disposable underwear.
Oh, honey. I looked at them damn things. I said, where they supposed to go?
I ain't do that. I tried to put them on, and they was like,
Now you know.
I was like, what
What?
the hell, them? Shit.
Yeah. Fit them well. Around that arm of yours.
I couldn't fit them. So she said, "Oh, you could just take them off. You just don't have to. You don't have to wear them." I said, "Okay." Um, I sat down. When I sat down, she did my foot bath. Then she explained everything that she was doing. Um, when I laid, which one was it? Got the order it was in.
Mm.
Um,
A foot bath, and then I think we went down, laid down for our scrub,
no, it
the
ordered
body scrub.
right. So she said they're gonna do what's that? I thought she was gonna sing. What was it called? What was it when she hit the thing? She hit something.
Okay, so that is just part of you. It's called a sound bowl, and it's just part of the ritual for you to bring awareness into. We're getting ready to start, getting ready to begin.
So I thought she was gonna sing when she said, "Oh," I'm like, "Okay." And then come by my head and said, "Boom," but she didn't say nothing. So I was like, "Okay, that might be what it's supposed to be." So she did the she did the massage on both sides. After that, she did the facial. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, the facial. I loved it. I noticed like I noticed like when I was before I went, well, before I even went to on the trip, I would have like these little black dark spots under my eyes, and it was like, why do I have dark spots in my eyes? I swear, I feel like I don't have them no more. Honestly. So when she did it, it was like the little thing. It was cold, but it felt so good. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh! Like after that, what she do? That's when we did the bath, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we did the flower bath. Um, so she told me what all the flowers did was, and we had to be in the bath for 15 minutes. Was it 15 minutes? She told me to be out at a certain time. So when I got, she let me get in there by myself. She left the room, and I just started just thinking, like, wow, I'm really in a whole different country, like enjoying myself. Like I didn't think that I was able to even do this type of stuff. Like I was in awe, really. Um, and I look back like I have to start doing this for myself. Like my friend, he always tell me, you do for other people, but you don't do for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much it is, you need to do it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
still working on it, but I need to really learn to just take a day out for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I did look back over things, and I shed some tears. Yes, I did. I shed some tears way before we went because, like I said, I wanted to be with my kids. But me having that, being by myself and just relaxing,
Oh, there you go again.
did I did. Um, but I do say, at least once a month, once or twice a month, um, have a me day,
Mm-hmm.
especially spa, like facial massage. It will help honestly, because when I got back home, it's been a lot of things that stressful times, and I just be like, okay, like I just because I know like I've been somewhere and I'm relieved now. And if I do start like getting really stressed, I know what I can do as far as like even breathing. But as far as like go have a spa day, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll come out a whole lot better. Yeah.
Now we're going. I'm gonna speak on that because sometimes you may not be able to afford a spa day, even if you just go out and have a walk. Just walk. Let be to yourself. Um, is always good. Isolate yourself once. These are the things that I have done because there have been times when, baby, the next person that asks me something, I'm gonna commit a crime. So when I start feeling that way, I'm like, all right, let me woosah, let me back up. And it might not be, I may have a pretty big bill that I need to go ahead and pay. Okay. So I don't not pay that and go on my spa day, but I do find other things to do. I listen to music. Listening to music works wonders. Not that ratchet shit.
Right.
Good music. Good music with good lyrics. Um and going for a walk on that, but when she told me, she's like, I had a moment. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that you can have an emotional outlet. Yeah, outlet. I think at that point, at that moment, she realized that I'm 10,000 miles away from home. Never experienced this in my life. Why did I have to be 10,000 miles away for this to happen? So yeah, don't don't wait to go on vacation or some special event to put yourself first. So I remember someone saying that self care is not selfish, and self care can look different from to anybody. So whatever avenue, if it's journaling, if it's going for a walk, yoga. Now I'm telling you, yoga, you can have a that's a love hate relationship. You can have a emotional breakdown on that also. But things that make you feel like back to yourself. To do that, make sure that you do that regularly, not just self care Sunday. It doesn't have to be on self care Sunday. It can be on a Tuesday. Hell,
Hmm.
if I'm feeling down, come late on tonight, you know. So I always tell people, honey, do for yourself. Them babies, they eating, they got food, they got lights, they got a roof over their head. Go ahead and do something for yourself. So yeah, there was something else that I was going to ask you too. Um, so you were talking about that, and
Well, I think it was 375,000. How much was
for
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 the
the
the bath, the spa? Well, whatever it was $75 in our
yeah,
in USDA money.
right, right, and so yeah, that's one thing that I loved about. I've gone first time I've ever gone to Southeast Asia, and that's one thing that I love. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You had another pretty integral part of the trip, and it was in a restaurant. So this restaurant we went
Mm.
to is it's called Merlin, and the thought concept is the food picks you. So what they do is they walk around with cards. They look like tarot cards. They're not. They look like tarot cards, and you pick your appetizer, entree, and dessert, which signifies past, present, and future. So she picked hers, and the owner ended up coming over and reading her numbers. So go ahead on and play on that. What was your lesson out of that experience?
Um, my
What
le-
did you say? What did you say? What was the first thing that you said when you first even walked into the building before we got to the restaurant?
I was like, oh, you're gonna make me cry.
So the energy already within the building was there.
Yeah, it was. And then the owner actually came over and just started talking to us, and he was telling me the numbers. Um, they were on point. Yes, they were. Then he was telling me about how was it how family would come and ask, well, anybody would come and ask and like come ask for help for anything, basically. Um, they said he said they know that you're going to be the one that help out. You know, anybody will come out and just ask for the help. And basically, he was saying, you start helping, doing for yourself, basically. And
And I think that that's where when he said that, because this was early on in the trip, and then at the end of our trip we had that day, I think it all
resonated.
intertwined together, where when he said that and she was sitting there reminiscing and thinking, she was like, yeah, you know what I need to start doing for myself. It was like it was a full circle, like its it completed what it needed to be done.
Hmm.
That she was, because she still had doubt. Yeah, yes, it's right. Yes, I do that. Yes, yes, yes. But that's just me. That's just me too. Not so much, not so much anymore, because I've learned that I'm older. I get, you know, you got to do for yourself, because if you don't do for yourself, you can't do for others.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
So, well, that is my sister. Hopefully, she'll be on the next international trip.
Ghana.
No, hey,
Oh,
that one too. You know, I have
uh,
the mystery trip and then the
the mi-
Ghana trip.
yeah. I need to because you did do the thing on Facebook, but I still haven't seen anything. I'm gonna have to just go on the group myself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I think that, okay, we're gonna talk about that later. But hopefully she will be on the next international trip, and she will be able to experience some more great things that the world has outside of just what we are used to
Hmm.
in the States. Um, So, yeah, the key points out of this entire interview, I feel like, is number one, we, especially as women, and especially as Black women, we have got to stop making ourselves feel like if we don't do that, we're unworthy.
Right.
We've been taught that if we do, it makes us more worthy, which is nothing further than the point. I now, a lot of people are starting to say soft life, soft life, soft life, but what does it really look like to you? For me, it's to do as less as possible. Whether it is being emotionally available to someone who isn't emotionally available to me, or going out and helping somebody who doesn't want to help themselves. So that's what it looks like to me. So figure out what your soft life is going to be, and start doing your soft life, baby. I love getting up late in the morning. Don't come in there and wake me up. Don't come in there. Let my body wake me up. I'm gonna do what I need to do throughout the day. So those long mornings, slow mornings are it's my vibe now. It's my vibe. And I don't know if it's because I've gotten older, but the hustle and bustle has never really ever been in me, but it's definitely not in me now. So if you are striving to do the soft life, do it on your own terms. Reflect on, don't let anyone um guilt you into doing anything that you don't really want to do. Um so yeah, just do for you.
Right.
When you do for yourself, you're able to do more for others. So here is to more international trips. Miss Pooh, we're gonna talk offline. Cause yeah, B Day coming up. Take that bitch off. Even if you gotta stay at the house or get a room somewhere else. Take
That's
that
what I
bitch
might
off.
do. That's what I might
Take that bitch off. It's my holiday.
look. That's what I might do.
It's my holiday. So yeah, y'all, thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure you go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment if you found any value within this video here. If you have any questions, please comment your questions down below. But yeah, here's to more group trips, more international trips, more solo trips, shit, more flights, period.
Catching fights, not
Not at all. Not at all. If you going, you going. If not, see you when I
see.
see you.
Right.
Bye. All
All
right, girl. I'll talk to you later.
right.
Bye.
Bye bye.